What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some information about Elon Musk, as he's making a lot of headlines right now. We're seeing a lot of news articles coming out about him. So I'm going to break down what's happening with him and the overall market, which you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I break the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100, you are guaranteed 7 free stocks. And the offer ends very soon in just about 12 days. Anyways, for Tesla, we're holding up very well. I called out in the morning that Tesla's going to likely dip to this 172 area and to watch and see if we get a bounce or not. And so far, we got a nice bounce from here. So this is a very, very nice entry for calls or to go long, at least temporarily, if you're trying to like scalp or day trade. But for now, Tesla's still continuing to push, looking decent so far. But we'll be watching to see what else develops on the chart, in my personal opinion. But I'll be talking about this in the next couple of minutes. Let's first talk about Elon Musk, what's going on with him and all these headlines. So Elon Musk has debunked claims that the FSD take rate is only 2%. This is very important because some data figures have come out from Yipit. They're basically saying that out of almost 3,500 Tesla owners who experienced FSD's free trial, from this number, only about 30% have reportedly subscribed to the advanced driving assist system. And the low number was highlighted by the media. So this is actually very important. We're starting to see a lot of headlines talking about how not a lot of people are showing interest in the advanced FSD system or anything like that. So that's something very, very important. This was making a lot of headlines on social media. So the question is, what's going on with this? Is this BS? And Elon Musk did actually respond to this. So right over here, you guys can see right here that a lot of people are talking about how this was very, very far off, and Elon Musk even commented on this. He probably would. So Musk basically says that he doesn't comment on everything, as sometimes he doesn't see it, and commenting on everything makes it easy to fish for information. But the take rate is much higher than 2%, please. So he's basically saying that this is not necessarily true. The take rate is much higher than this. The survey is not accurate, and it's very, very biased in his personal opinion. That's what he basically anticipated. So we'll have to see how things are looking, in my personal opinion. And looking at the way things are developing, this is very, very important. Now, there's also a lot of talk coming out that it's Q1 2024 update letter that FSD has broken the 1.3 billion mile mark, has succeeded during the earnings call. And with FSD developing, I think that there's a lot more interest in just that 2% take rate. So that's something else that's worth noting. That's what's going on, at least in my personal opinion. There's also some news coming out right here that Tesla is nearing the shareholder vote to grant Elon Musk $46 billion. We will see what happens with this. The vote is going to take place by the owners of Tesla stock on June 13th, and it's going to determine whether the company's CEO, Elon Musk, deserves a $46 billion payday, and if this is going to end up being applicable. So it's going to be very, very important. This was basically an attempt to reinstate a pay package shareholders agreed to in 2018 if Musk hits certain financial and stock price targets, which he did just within 5 years. So that is something very important. This was a previous agreement, so we will see what the shareholders decide. I respect their decision no matter what. And I do believe that Elon Musk is hardworking. He is very deserving of a lot, so we will see what the decision is. But this is something else that's making a lot of headlines and something worth noting. There's also a lot of things going on right here. Articles are saying that Elon Musk fired nearly all of Tesla's Supercharger team after a little argument with a top executive. So how is this actually playing out? I'm not really seeing any reports about this outside of some mainstream sources. Nothing is guaranteed, of course, but this is kind of like one of the takes on this. So during a meeting, there's actually a very, very important person who was there. We actually have the charging chief, Rebecca Tanucci, and they basically came out and they actually ended up kind of talking to Elon Musk about the whole idea of letting go of the Supercharger team. And at least this is what reports are saying. And she kind of pushed back on, Elon Musk's claims for deep cuts for the charging team. That's what some reports are saying. I'm not saying that this is 100% confirmed every single side of the argument or anything like that, but Musk had a different idea at hand, and this was actually shortly before he ended up laying off the majority of the Supercharger team. Now, Tesla is rehiring some executives from the team, and they ended up making a big announcement. They're going to be investing $500 million into expanding Supercharger network, but this is still making some headlines, and this is something very important. I think that these details are worth noting, but as far as things go, this is not necessarily the end of the whole FSD Supercharger network and anything else that's like that. It's not the end of the world, guys. I'm not necessarily too worried about this, and so don't let a lot of these mainstream articles get the best of things. And a lot of people are saying that it's not good that the team got into arguments over this. I do agree, but this does happen. So hopefully everyone makes up at the end of the day, and they're just doing what's best for the company. Now for Tesla, I do want to call out something else. So we did get this little rebound attempt, but now we're watching to see if this is a head and shoulders or not on Tesla. Is Tesla about to try to break out from here and start pushing to higher levels? Or are we about to get a big rejection, start dipping all the way down to the 172s? I'll be watching to see how Tesla holds above these EMAs. So make sure you watch 174.35 or 200 EMA. If Tesla ends up losing this and this is a false break, we could be returning back down to 172. If we do lose that, we're going to turn back to bearish. If we hold above 175, there is bullish momentum and there is potential for us to go up to 178. We have to maintain this structure, hold this for the next couple of hours, and we need to see how Tesla ends up responding. I am a little concerned off this head and shoulders that's starting to form. Is Tesla about to get a big rejection or not? We'll just have to wait and see. But that's going to be pivotal for the way Tesla ends up moving. Make sure you watch these levels and see if this plays out or not. As far as SPY goes, I mentioned to everyone that resistance is getting tougher and tougher. And what you'll notice is that we did go all the way up to about 531.5, kind of rejected a little bit. Now we're actually showing some tightness in the price action because SPY is approaching some tough resistance, and we're actually continuing to see some very, very interesting developments. So I want to make it very, very clear right now that as far as things are going, SPY is currently at the 530 area. We have to just see if we hold this or not. If we lose this or close below this, there's going to be a risk of us dipping back down to the 528s, very close to our 20 EMA. So I'll be watching to see, can we hold above 530? Resistance is kind of tough at 531.5. I was looking at 532 earlier, but we're actually a little bit below that. We came just short of that target. So just wait and see, do we hold up or not? We're at a very, very critical resistance on SPY. We're going to try to be very open-minded nonetheless. For NVIDIA, we've been pushing very nicely. I did mention that this thing could get very close to about 960. We actually went up to 958, so just a little bit short of that. And now we're just kind of shuffling right over here. So watch support at 950 and 945. Watch resistance at 955 and 958. We're kind of stuck right now on NVIDIA, going back and forth very tight. So give this some time and we'll see which way this ends up going. We're just kind of range bound right now on NVIDIA. For the triple Q, just like SPY, we went up to about 454.5. We'll have to see if this holds. If we break through this, we'll be looking for 455.5. If we reject, you're going to be looking at previous support becoming resistance at 554 and 553. If we lose that, there's going to be a bigger tip down all the way down here to about, did I say 5? I meant 450. Sorry about that, guys. I meant 454.5 is our resistance. We're kind of rejecting here, so we'll look at 453 as key support. If we lose that, we're going to be dipping a little bit more, so watch and see how well we hold on the QQQ. But we're at resistance right now. We're starting to shuffle, so watch this very, very carefully and see if we can try to hold support or not. For Apple stock, we did push. We actually have a slight bearish divergence developing. We're going to be looking at 189.5 as support. If we lose this, we'll be dipping down to 188. If we hold above this, we could be retesting 190. So watch and see if we hold the support. There is a risk of this actually dipping a little bit, but I'll see how support holds just to be safe. For Amazon, notice that Amazon's just shuffling, trading sideways right now within this range. We have resistance currently at 187. We have support at 185. If we lose 185.5, we could be dipping all the way down to much lower levels. So we'll just have to wait and see how things go as we're kind of trading sideways. For Meta pushed all the way up to about 482. We have support currently at 474. If we lose that on Meta, we could be looking for a little dip right over here, so just be very careful. I called that Meta might see some downside in my early morning video. That's what's happening so far. We did actually end up reaching my target. So watch 474, 472, and if that fills us, 468 is coming. Overall, Meta is dipping just a bit. Look at GME and AMC. I called downside. Once again, we are dipping on GME. We're approaching our 0.786 retracement, which is all the way down towards 25.6. We were looking more bearish on there. And the same thing with AMC. We're also approaching our 200 EMA at 434. Very, very close to what I was talking about, 4.34. The VIX is still holding 12.4. It hasn't officially gotten a big break of this support. It's still kind of shuffling here. So we'll see if we get a bounce or not. And otherwise, we're just going to be waiting. So for the market, guys, let's be a little bit careful. Yes, Tesla tried to push up higher. We got a nice little rebound, but we're kind of struggling to hold. I mentioned to everyone we had to rebound and hold for us to maintain a bullish structure. But now there's a possible head and shoulders. So watch resistance and see how Tesla reacts from here. With that being said, I want to just say I really appreciate every single one of you. Please have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Thank you and peace out.